Good morning, everyone!
Hello, hello, and welcome to your new week. We're here to make it a lot better than it would have been without us. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. It's the start of yet another work week. Let's make the last Monday of April awesome with some laughter, inspiration, and unstoppable energy. Happy Monday. I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. Welcome back, Pao. We missed you. Oh my goodness.
It was so weird not having you for 3 days last week.
I know.
Was I not here? Or, yeah, I don't think I was here last week. Yeah, I think you're right. No, but it's great to be back. Really enjoyed my time in Ilocos and in La Union. I went from Paway to vegan to La Union and then Agoo in like 4 days. So it was really fun. It was really fun. It was really difficult. I was there to cover the tour of Luzon cycling. And yeah, I mean, like I really enjoyed the Ilocos in particular. A bit of a homecoming for myself. So nang bigat to all of the Ilocanos out there. At maraming salamat to
Ilocano while he was there.
I am Ilocano.
I know that. I know you worked on it.
Yeah, my family's from Lawag. So again, thank you so much to Governor Manotok for your help, Mayor Galliano for welcoming us there, and of course it was just really fun. It was really fun being around and eating Ilocano food.
Where's our pasalubong?
Yeah, where's our
Ay,
empanada?
makain ko na eh.
Grabe naman to.
First of all, you can't bring home empanada and hope that it's gonna be okay.
can.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, because I have my family's also from Lawag and they bring us empanada.
Yeah, but is it as good?
No, but
Exactly.
it's still good.
It won't be as
It's not the
fresh.
experience.
No.
It's the thought that counts.
I thought about
You
it.
didn't even bring us anything.
I thought about it.
Di ba sa Ilocos din yung parang chicha corn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
chicha
chicha
corn.
corn. You can bring us
I
chicha corn.
didn't think about the chicha corn.
I love chicha corn.
I didn't think about the chicha corn because I found this karinderya that serve Cagayan food. And
So he bought it and ate it all for
I'll get
himself.
the name of the
Wala tayo, guys.
dish. But then yeah, I mean like I really enjoyed.
Excuses,
I really enjoyed.
excuses.
No,
We
I have
welcomed you back
no
this morning.
excuse. Kailangan fresh, okay? I had like bagnet, I had empanada, I had poke-poke. It was the greatest.
I love poke-poke.
Oh my gosh, it is the greatest. But anyway, hidden culinary gem, guys. Just go to Lawag. Go to Ilocos Norte.
Sige, are you gonna take us there since you didn't bring us food? You can be our tour guide.
Sabay tayo. Pero I'm not, like, not paying for you. Pero sabay tayo.
Wow.
Chicha corn nga lang
Chicha
yung
corn,
request.
actually.
I
I should have thought
Wala
of
pang chicha corn.
Don't worry, my parents don't have anything either. So you're okay.
Okay, noted. So if you guys now know, if ever Paolo goes anywhere, he will not bring you anything.
Hoy, I got you
Noted.
guys Dubai chocolate from Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
Ang lapit lang kasi ng
Actually,
Ilocos
oh,
eh.
That was the first time that we tried the Dubai chocolate, so thank
Oh,
you.
Actually, thank you.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was a memorable
Lapit
experience
ng Ilocos,
for
it's
us.
not that near. It's
Well,
not far.
no, by plane it's like an hour.
plane, but by avian,
by
it's like
car
10
it's like
hours.
yeah, which is like 9, 10 hours
not
maybe,
10.
give or take, yeah. But just
Sige,
again,
Anne and I will go to Lawag without
I've never
you.
been to Ilocos, so maybe that's going to be my next destination.
yeah, you'd love Ilocos, especially if you have the chance to go to the Pagudpud area
Pagudpud.
with all the beaches there.
Sige,
And,
Anne, let's go.
Baguio.
Yeah.
On a girls trip. We'll
Iwan
leave
naman
Paolo
natin
here.
si Pao. Yes,
You got the whole
yes.
show.
Okay, sige. Baka maging hit yung show na to.
Wow! Oy, nag-get kami last week without you.
No,
yeah.
I saw it. I was watching. Nung nakita niyo sa mga comment section on the shows that I wasn't here, I miss myself on the show. So, ganun talaga. All right, so now that we're
anyway,
back and obviously dumadami yung tao dito sa studio, tingnan natin kung madaming tao along EDSA.
That's right. Let's take a look at the major roads in Metro Manila at this hour. Here is the situation along EDSA White Plains. If you're heading southbound, you will be slowing things down as moderate traffic is already building up on that stretch, as you can see on the left side of your screens. Vehicles headed to Shaw Boulevard. On the opposite lane, right side, are vehicles headed to Cubao. No problem yet as of this hour. Now, this time, let's check on the live feed from EDSA Orense in Makati. You got light traffic On the left side of your screens, that's the southbound lane going to Pasay. And on the right side is the northbound lane going to Shaw Boulevard, also free-flowing as of this hour. Now, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. Guys, it's a Monday. Vehicles with license plates ending in 1 and 2 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Heads up to motorists, better gas up now on the last Monday of April. Industry projections says gasoline prices will rise by as much as 1 peso and 40 centavos per liter. Diesel prices may soar by as much as 1 peso a liter and 70 centavos for kerosene. The Energy Department says the U.S. sanctions over Iran's oil shipping network and higher demand for crude are some of the reasons behind the fuel price hike, which takes place Tuesday, April 29. Now let's find out what the weather is going to be like on this Monday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. We missed you, Pao. Take it away.
Thank you, Mo, and of course, thank you so much for taking over when I was gone. I heard you were like a storm. As of today, 3 weather systems are impacting our country. Now, based on the latest Pag-asa forecast, the low-pressure area that they have been monitoring has entered the Philippine area of responsibility. Now, it was last located 695 kilometers east of General Santos City, so it's right over here. Now, Pag-asa says that this still has a low chance of developing into a tropical cyclone within the next 24 hours. Now, this LPA is embedded alongside the intertropical convergence zone, which is affecting the majority of Mindanao. Now, the easterlies, on the other hand, are influencing the rest of the country. Now, due to the low-pressure areas including the Davao region, Soxargen, may see mostly cloudy skies accompanied by scattered rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. Locations experiencing the frequent rainfall should be on high alert for the potential flooding and possible landslides, particularly during the heavy rainfall events. Now, over in Palawan and other parts of Mindanao, you can expect generally cloudy skies expected with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms likely to occur. Once again, that is along Palawan and the other parts of Mindanao. Meanwhile, Luzon and Visayas continue to experience hot and humid weather conditions brought about by the easterly winds from the Pacific. Now, this weather pattern is elevating temperatures, resulting in a hotter and more uncomfortable feeling. So make sure you stay safe, drink plenty of water, limit sun exposure, especially during the peak hours around noon. Now, let's take a look at the current weather conditions that are driving Pag-asa's latest heat index forecast. Now, several areas across the country continue to experience extreme heat, with heat index values reaching levels classified under the danger category. Sangley Point in Cavite is expected to hit one of the highest heat index levels today, peaking at around 44 degrees Celsius, while San Jose Occidental Mindoro follows with 43 degrees Celsius over there. Now, several more areas may experience a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius. Now, all these still fall within what we call the danger zone. Now, these locations include Tagupan in Pangasinan, Apari in Cagayan, Coron, Palawan, Cuyo, Palawan, Masbate City, and Rojas in Capiz. Now, additional locations that will register a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius includes Iloilo City, Dumangas, Iloilo, La Granja, La Carlota, Negros Occidental, Siquijor, and Guian in eastern Samar. Now, given these intense temperatures, residents are strongly urged to stay hydrated, avoid strenuous outdoor activities, especially from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and look out for children, seniors, and individuals with pre-existing health conditions who are at a greater risk of heat-related illnesses. Now, as for sea conditions, there are no gale warnings currently issued, and sea conditions remain calm to moderate, generally safe for small boats and fishing vessels to enjoy the sea. Now, there will be light to moderate winds and waves that are expected in most coastal waters. However, mariners are still advised to stay alert for any sudden weather changes, to regularly monitor Pag-asa for updated advisories, especially before departure. Now, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, girls.
Thank you so much, Pao, for that weather report. Another Senate bet of the administration-backed Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas visits former Vice President Leni Robredo in Naga City. ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo visited Robredo Saturday, and she thanked him for assisting Angat Buhay's disaster relief efforts. Tulfo, in turn, recognized Robredo's aim to help and cooperate with the government, regardless of political affiliations. Tulfo was a staunch critic of Robredo during her term as vice president. Robredo earlier endorsed Tulfo's colleagues in Alianza, including former senator and 2022 presidential race rival Manny Pacquiao.
Former Senator Manny Pacquiao scores another endorsement from a 2022 presidential race rival in Isko Moreno. The boxing legend and Moreno were spotted during the mayoral candidate's campaign sortie in Manila. Pacquiao thanked Moreno for the endorsement. Moreno is the third among Pacquiao's 2022 opponents who have endorsed his attempt for a Senate comeback. President Marcos added the people's champ to his Alianza slate.
La Union 1st District Representative Paolo Ortega sounded the alarm over the alleged foreign interference in the upcoming midterm elections. With evidence presented by the National Security Council, Ortega referenced reported agreements between the Chinese embassy in Manila and a Makati-based PR firm allegedly used to spread pro-Beijing propaganda online. Ortega went on to issue a pointed message to candidates perceived to be aligned with Chinese interests. He says, quote, any candidates that side with China while they claim our territory and target our military are puppets, not public servants, end of quote. And calls on voters to be vigilant on their chosen candidates.
The Philippine Navy confirmed yesterday the presence of Chinese vessels in Philippine waters amid ongoing war games between the Philippines and the United States. In a statement, the Navy said a Chinese frigate and an auxiliary ship were spotted 60 nautical miles of Palawig, Zambales. Despite this, the Navy says the multilateral exercises proceeded as planned. Meanwhile, the Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, or Nemesis, an anti-ship missile system used by the U.S. military, is now in Batanes as part of the Maritime Key Terrain Security Operations. The Nemesis is the newest addition to the long-standing annual exercise between the United States and the Philippines as a deterrence against China's longtime incursions within Philippine borders.
In world news, at least 11 people were killed and dozens injured when a man rammed an SUV through a crowd at a Filipino community festival in Vancouver, Canada. Police arrested a 30-year-old Vancouver man at the scene of the incident on Sunday evening. He was described as having had a significant history of interactions with authorities involving mental health. They said there was no evidence of terrorism, but the police is still looking for a motive for the attack.
Right there, some car, some Audi, black Audi, he just like stopped or whatever. I don't know, but from over there, from like the start right there, he just pushed the gas all the way through the whole block right there, crashing into like everyone in his way.
Can you describe a little bit what you saw?
I heard like a bunch of like crashing and stuff. Then I walked down like not even like half the block. I just saw like a bunch of bodies and everything, and I just went back.
The attack came at the end of the Filipino festival, which celebrated Lapu-Lapu Day with a multi-block street party featuring Filipino food and traditions. Filipino-American rapper Apple the App, who headlined the festival concert, released a statement on Facebook saying he is heartbroken for the families of the victims. He also posted support hotlines for witnesses of the incident, distress hotlines, and called for blood donations for the injured victims.
Now, over in Rome, dozens of cardinals went to the Basilica of St. Mary Major to pay their respects to Pope Francis. A single white flower marks his resting place, honoring his wish for a simple burial outside the Vatican. Pope Francis is the first pope since 1903 to be laid to rest in the historic church. Over 400,000 people, including world leaders and monarchs, attended the Pope's burial on Saturday. The Pope died on Easter Monday at the age of 88.
Argentines bid farewell to Pope Francis on Saturday following his burial in the Vatican City. Crowds flocked to a massive open-air mass in front of the cathedral, where he served as the Archbishop of Buenos Aires before his papacy. Following the sermon, a caravan began around the Plaza de Mayo as a symbolic embrace for Francis' legacy. Argentines long waited for the Latin American pontiff to visit his homeland after he left for the Vatican City to head to the Roman Catholic Church. But the Pope was unable to come home during his 12 years of reign until his death last week, April 21.
I feel excited. I'm sad because he left us, but happy because he is with God. Francis wanted to see us to be united, and here we are for him. For us, he'll always be alive.
I hope the next pope will be a good pope like he was. We, the most vulnerable, always hope for a pope that is close to the people.
A decade has passed, but the Pope's mercy and compassion left a lasting impression to Huaraynons. Pope Francis traveled to Leyte in 2015 to visit the victims of Super Typhoon Yolanda. As Sandro Ochona reports, they paid tribute by holding masses, commemorating the people's Pope.
Tacloban residents gathered again Saturday afternoon for 2 masses to celebrate Pope Francis's life that made it memorable for Tacloban residents. In 2015, the pontiff visited the Philippines a year early than his scheduled trip. Pope Francis, a known climate change advocate, wanted to spend time with survivors after Super Typhoon Yolanda killed 6,000 residents. The Pope gave a predominant Catholic country hope.
Naalala natin yung pagpunta niya rito 10 years ago sa aftermath ng Yolanda. Hindi tayo iniwan. Tumayo siya dito, kasama natin. Pinalakas ng loob natin dito, hindi na sa Tacloban, pero sa buong Pilipinas. Sa halip ng lahat ng mga trahedya, dapat huwag lang tayo mawala ng pag-asa at tiwala sa ating Diyos.
With another looming typhoon threatening to disrupt his visit, the Pope did not waver. Donned in a yellow raincoat, wind blowing his hood, the Pope celebrated the Holy Mass at the tarmac of their destroyed airport.
We will never forget those moments. Those are very memorable moments carved in our hearts and in our memories.
It is with what we do when we're living that truly makes us memorable to those who will be leaving behind. Just like Pope Francis to Tacloban residents. Sandro Ochona, Billionario News Channel.
Over in sports, a solid connection for Converge Fiber Xers in the PBA Philippine Cup. Fiber Xers escaped a tough game against the TNT Tropang 5G on Sunday at the Inares Center in Antipolo. Final score 100-94. It was the Justin show for Converge, with Justin Arana leading the way with 22 points, while Justin Baltazar had a double-double of 21 points and 12 rebounds for the best player of the game honors. Over in the first game, the Rain and Shine and Lasapainers scored their second straight win at the expense of the reigning Philippine Cup champions, the Meralco Bolts. Final score 126-112. Santi Santillan led ROS with 27 points, while Gian Mamuyak and Adrian Nocum combines for 48 markers. Gabe Norwood paced the E-Painters with 12 points and was named Best Player of the game. Over in the UAP, the NU Lady Bulldogs complete a great escape to wrap the elimination round of the women's volleyball tournament in season 87. The champs edged out the UC Golden Tigresses in 5 nerve-wracking sets on Sunday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Now, this marks NU's 5th straight win over the Golden Tigresses dating back from last season. Queen Bulldog Bella Belen showcased her brilliance with a huge triple-double of 26 points, 17 digs, and 13 receptions. NU finishes the elimination round on top with a record of 12 wins and 2 losses. The champs enjoy a twice-to-beat incentive over the 4th-seeded FEU Lady Tamaraws in the semifinals. Meantime, USD and the DLSU Lady Spikers will battle for the 2nd seed and twice-to-beat edge on Wednesday, April 30, at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay.
In local entertainment, the drag community mourns the loss of drag artist Jiggly Caliente, who passed away on Sunday. Caliente has died at the age of 43, just days after her leg was amputated due to a severe infection. Previously, Jiggly's family announced that she will not appear in the upcoming season of Drag Race Philippines due to a serious health setback. She was among the judges of all 3 seasons of the local franchise of the RuPaul Drag Show and also competed in the season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race and season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. She was one among the trailblazers who introduced Filipino drag excellence to the international stage.
Now on to the lighter side of things. Horror film Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan and directed by Ryan Coogler, tops box office for a second week in a row in the U.S. Jordan stars as twins in Coogler's supernatural horror flick set in Mississippi, joined by Haley Steinfeld and Delroy Lindo. The vampire thriller scored a near-perfect 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, outperforming a Minecraft movie, The Amateur, and Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Coogler was known for directing the 2015 American sports drama film Creed and the Marvel Comics movie series Black Panther.
It's so nice to see movies doing well, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I actually miss going to the cinemas.
I do love going to the cinemas.
Yeah.
I was actually supposed to go see this yesterday, but I ran out of time. Because my boyfriend was like, oh my gosh, it has 98 on Rotten Tomatoes and 98 on, I think, Critics' Choice as well, and audience score. So he's like, it looks amazing, but I think we'll watch it this week.
But you said you don't like watching horror movies.
I don't, but he wanted to watch it. That's love right there.
You know,
I wanted to watch
I think guys like it when the girls will go watch horror movies with them and then they suddenly like
No, I
hug
hate
them.
horror movies.
What? Really?
I do not like
I hate
horror
horror
movies.
ones,
Like
too.
I will accidentally punch someone because of a horror movie.
So baka, if
Because
ever
they want
wants
the
to watch
stress?
it, Paolo's gonna punch MJ.
I'm animated. Like my hands are gonna flail around. You know, I'm fighting someone.
But I want to
my
watch
God.
this.
It's just not fair, okay? Kasi kung may multo dun, alright? You
Vampire.
You can't punch a ghost, okay? You can't punch a ghost. You can punch a vampire, you can't punch a ghost. I don't have a problem with vampires, but you can't punch a ghost.
So if ever you're watching a scary movie, give him like some space, like a lot of
kaya
space.
kailangan,
So he'll be by
ano,
Paano
himself.
yayakap sa'yo yung girlfriend mo? Pag
Hindi.
natatakot siya.
The ghost will make him
Hindi ako
yakap.
iniyakap. So, ganun talaga. But then, no, again, I really like that there are so many good movies out now.
Yes,
And
yes.
I hope that more people go back to the cinemas because that really is an experience in itself.
It is, especially with the
Yeah.
movie Popcorn.
I want to watch this
the
one because
best.
it has double Michael B. Jordan in it. So exciting, right?
I love Michael B.
We love
Jordan. though.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan is a fantastic, and working with Coogler, who was great with him in Creed, that's obviously amazing.
And
But
Haley Steinfeld.
just out of curiosity, what's your popcorn of choice?
Oh, let me tell y'all. Okay.
I have one too. I have a recipe too. I want to hear yours.
American popcorn is nothing compared to like the Filipino popcorn. So I always get sour cream popcorn, extra butter, and then a little bit of cheddar cheese.
Oh my God,
Okay, how
that
about you?
has too much
So
flavor
good.
in
It's
it.
Too much flavor. What do you
You're
have? What do you have?
boring.
Wait, Mo.
Okay.
What
I
does she
just
have?
I judge her.
I just have plain with a little salt.
Are you serious? No extra butter?
No, I don't like buttery popcorn. I just want it plain with a little salt because I don't want to get my fingers messy. Plus, I want to taste the popcorn taste because sometimes when you put
Popcorn doesn't have a
Popcorn
taste.
taste. That's why you put butter.
It has that corn.
No,
that,
it's really butter.
Mais yun.
No, hindi. Ask the chefs who are watching. It has that subtle corn taste when you bite into a popcorn, and you want that flavor. If you put too much powder, like sour cream, or if it's too gooey with the butter, I don't like it. I like it plain with a little salt.
So I'm literally just gonna give you a cob of corn. Hold
Yeah,
on, when
really,
you
I
eat corn
love-
on a cob, do you
Yeah.
put butter?
Yeah, of course.
You are so lame.
Oh, no, actually,
See?
my uncle from El Paso, he taught me a new way of eating corn. So now I eat it with mayonnaise and that pico limon sauce.
Yeah, with
the
mayo.
powder, with mayonnaise.
I can't believe Anne doesn't like popcorn with flavor. You're
I'm
so boring.
sorry.
No, my thing is that you get
Wow,
barbecue.
boring.
I like you eat it plain.
No.
I'm sure we have some viewers who-
I'm with Mo on this one. But for me,
you.
the hack is you get a barbecue, you get barbecue popcorn, and then you get 2 scoops of butter.
Oh God,
And
no.
then you go. The barbecue
I
of butter.
cannot.
I
That's
butter.
guarantee plenty.
Sour cream all the way.
You got sour cream and cheese. Sour cream and cheese.
Oh,
for
that's
you.
also
That's
what I get
gonna
with my
block all.
fries.
That's gonna block all the arteries
It's
in
fine.
your
At
heart.
least I'll die happy and
What?
very
No.
flavorful.
Sakto. I mean, like, I'd rather die from popcorn than the vampires or the ghosts yung nakakita ko doon. My gosh. Like, naalala ko yung pinakaunang trauma ko sa buhay was watching The Ring in the year like
Same.
2000.
You know, I used
Like,
to cover
That
the
wasn't so
TVs
scary.
because of, after that
I
movie.
mean, it
I
wasn't so scary. What
That was the scariest movie of my life.
Nagtapon ako ng mga VHS tapes dahil doon dati.
I literally covered all the TVs because I thought something was gonna come out.
So that was
But
the
you can't do the
So that was
Ring now.
that was the scariest movie you've ever seen.
Hindi, no, that's not scary movie I've ever seen.
Okay,
No,
okay.
it was just like the movie that probably left like a mark in a bad way.
Conjuring's really scary too.
Conjuring, The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. All right, before we
Tomato.
go too wild on this, but then, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you go out to a movie with Anne Asis-Carilo, she is boring.
Oh my God! She'll just bring her own popcorn. So just
Harsh.
Yeah, take Paolo and I. But you know what? We've got more stories for you after the break. Very flavorful ones. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, malaria remains one of the world's most persistent infectious diseases. And while the Philippines has made significant progress in controlling its spread, it continues to pose a threat in certain areas. Now, this is particularly true in remote and rural communities. Now, with climate change, increased mobility, and changing ecosystems, the fight against malaria faces new challenges that demand constant vigilance and innovation. Now, to help us understand the current situation and efforts to combat malaria in the Philippines, we are joined by Zoom by Dr. Rontgene Solante, Chair of the Adult Infectious Diseases and Tropical Medicine Department at the San Lazaro Hospital. It's a beautiful day, Doc Jean. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, good morning, Paolo.
Doc, first of all, let's talk about the status of malaria here in the country. Could you give us a brief overview of the cases that we currently have nationwide, and of course, where is it more or less prevalent?
Yes, for now, no. Before 2000, the year 2000, Philippines was really one of the hotspots of malaria in Southeast Asia. And because of a very good malarial control, especially in the Department of Health, we were able to really lessen the provinces that ang goal kasi natin doon yung provinces that is malaria-free, no?
Mm-hmm.
And the latest count now as of 2023, no? Ito yung pinaka-latest natin. Only Palawan and certain areas of Palawan that is reporting malaria. Ibig sabihin, isa na lang, no? So wala na yung ibang mga provinces. So from the original of most provinces, more than 70% of the provinces reporting malaria in the Philippines, ang Palawan na lang, at I think there are only 3 municipalities now in Palawan that is also reporting cases of malaria. So that's a big progress for us, and we don't consider malaria anymore a big threat in the Philippines.
Doc, balikan muna natin yung year 2000s or around that area. You mentioned po that dati talaga isa tayo sa mga hotspots ng malaria. Ano pong ginawa ng DOH in particular to be able to curb its spread and to almost be malaria-free?
Well, ang malaria kasi it's transmitted by the mosquito, no, carrying the microorganism. And there are areas in the Philippines talagang malawak yung larval transmission dahil nga tropical country, na malaking bagay yung mga environment na kung saan man namumugad itong mga lamok na to, especially in the countryside, and usually mahirap siyang i-control. But because of the efforts of the government to really clean up those environment, no, may mga tinatawag tayong larvicidal program na yung mga pinupugaran ng mga lamok sa mga provinces, talagang iniisa-isa yan yung mga tinutukoy na mga area ng mga hotspots ng malaria. And then at the same time, malaking bagay din ang yung mga prophylaxis na binibigay natin doon sa mga areas na to also stop the transmission, especially if you're traveling to those areas, no? So it's more on larval control, yung mga mosquito, in terms of by controlling the environment, cleaning the environment, and at the same time, aggressive clinical management. Pag nagka-malaria ka, dapat tinutukoy kung saan ka nanggaling, at at the same time, tinitrace yun kung sino pa yung mga areas na merong mga nag-report na malaria.
Doc, I want to connect this with what we're seeing also with the dengue cases in the country, because based on, well, kung saan po sila galing, which is the larva, which is mosquitoes, and it also requires a certain level of larvicidal control. Is that something that we can apply also to the way that we fight dengue, considering po that nagkaroon ng konting spike yung dengue cases earlier in the year?
Yes, malaking bagay talaga ang vector control, no? Ang tawag namin yan vector control, kasi yung nagdadala ng mikrobyo nito ay yung mga mosquito na talagang they infect and bite anyone who is exposed to this type of mosquito. Medyo lang siguro characteristic ng mga mosquito ng malaria at saka yung dengue, because most of the mosquito sa dengue are usually thrive in the highly urbanized area. But in the malaria, in the Aedes albopictus is usually in areas na malapit sa mga beaches, sa mga yung may mga watershed, no, na hindi highly urbanized, mga mountainous areas talaga itong mga sa malaria. Kaya it's so difficult also to control. Kaya ang mga nangyayari niyan, when you do some vector control in this area, talagang pupuntahan mo yung mga mapunong lugar, hindi masyadong mataong lugar, and that also high risk din ang gumagawa niyan, because you're also at risk of other environmental hazard, no? But for dengue, ang problema sa dengue is mga basura, highly urbanized, ang mga lamok nandito lang sa kapaligiran natin, and more or less mas marami ang lamok ng dengue carrying the dengue virus, and I think compared to those carrying the malaria.
Doc, kapag tingnan natin yung climate change in particular, yung climate change really affecting the growth of a certain larva, we've seen the dengue spike partly due to the climate change as well. Is that something that we need to be worried about, especially when we talk about malaria? Na-mention mo nga po that when you talk about the watersheds, when you talk about the not as urbanized areas in particular, that could change or affect the growth of larvae in certain areas. Palagay niyo po ba that climate change is going to be something that we have to be wary of in terms of keeping malaria down dito sa Pilipinas?
Yes, Paolo, no, malaking bagay talaga ang climate change, no, because for one, with climate change, there is an erratic, longer season. Meron ding longer na hot season, especially in the Philippines. And itong climate change na to has also make this itong mga vector like mga lamok, they also nag-change din yung behavior nila, no? And in fact, that there are data now na yung pag-change ng climate natin has somehow increased the lifespan of some of these mosquitoes, especially for the dengue, malaria, mosquito carrying the malaria, no? Tumataas yung lifespan nila, mas marami silang time to really produce more mosquito, no? And at the same time, when you have more mosquito, then you have higher risk also of this mosquito carrying the infection. And that's why isa yan sa mga factor bakit may mga ibang bansa are not reporting malaria or not reporting dengue are already reporting these mga common tropical infections that are not so common in some European or even in the US.
Doc Jean, mag-focus muna tayo sa Palawan. You mentioned po that that's the only province right now with a couple of municipalities that has cases of malaria, or at least hindi po siya zero malaria. What are the challenges there in particular na medyo nahihirapan tayo in terms of making it a zero malaria area?
Well, siguro ang challenges natin dito is really how the local government will really follow the measures, no, in terms of the countermeasures to decrease yung mga areas kung saan namumugad ang mga lamok carrying the malaria, no. Alam naman natin in areas like Palawan, no, it's a very very big province, and when you look at the demographic, the geographic situation there, it's complex also because maraming bukid, maraming iba't ibang terrain, and sometimes it's so difficult to implement this mga environmental control, especially in areas na tatawirin pa ng bundok, tatawirin mo ng ilog na marami. So something like that ang medyo challenge sa local government.
Doc, for those wondering, let's have more information on malaria itself here. Gawin natin tong information drive, Doc. What should you be worried about from a household perspective, especially po yung mga nasa mga more remote areas, or for those going out on vacation in more remote areas? What are the things that they could do to be able to potentially avoid any malaria cases? And of course, what should they watch out for?
Okay, very important, Paolo, no? They need to coordinate with the local government in Palawan kung ano yung mga municipality that is still reporting malaria, no? Like for example, if you go to Palawan, what specific municipality are you going there? Because if the local health government will tell you this area has still malaria reported cases and this area, then they have to take what we call prophylaxis before going there, no? Kasi importante yung prophylaxis na yan to prevent getting the infection. And at the same time, when you know that these areas are also the ones reporting with malaria, siguro you have to evade those areas and then have yourself protected by wearing clothing that can protect your skin and less of being exposed to the mosquito. Now, the most important part here is that when you develop symptoms of malaria, the most common symptoms of malaria is still fever and headache. And when you are in an area, coming from that area na merong mga malaria case, then you have to report to the doctor na, ay, nanggaling po ako sa ganitong province, para lang at least malaman ng mga doktor na there's a possibility that aside from other infections, malaria should also be investigated.
Doc, ano po yung mga challenges in treating malaria, especially once it's identified? Because I can only imagine there is a reason why napaka-comprehensive, napaka-agresibo po natin in terms of our information drives and in terms of our attack to curb the number of malaria cases dito sa Pilipinas.
Yes, ang pinaka-challenge talaga when you will be infected with the malaria that is drug resistant, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na chloroquine resistant type of Plasmodium falciparum, no? And when you have this drug resistant falciparum, yung first line na mga gamot hindi na tumatalab, and that's why our recent recommendation, our current recommendation now is to use the second line, which is the artemether based type of treatment, which can be effective against this resistant Plasmodium falciparum, no? That's one. The other one is also diagnostics. Alam naman natin na the capability of doing madali lang, mabilis i-diagnose ang malaria, Paolo, no? You just get a blood smear, yung dugo, tapos ilagay mo siya sa isang glass, then you will look at it in the microscope. But again, it takes also timing when you get the blood, because it's important that when you get the blood during the time na naglalagnat yung pasyente, and sometimes you cannot just get the positive during the first exam. You have to really repeat 2 or 3 times para lang makuha or makita mo yung mikrobyo. Now, in the event na talagang highly suspicious na malaria ka, tapos negative ka nung first test, there's also another test that will be done para lang at least makuha mo yung positivity na yung pasyente talagang merong malaria or wala.
Doc, may incubation period po ba yung malaria?
Yes, just like any other infection, pag kinakagat ka ng lamok na carrying the malarial parasite, no, usually it takes around 7 to 10 days before the appearance of the first symptom. So ibig sabihin, pag nakagat ka ngayon, magbilang ka ng 7 to 10 days. Kung infected yung lamok na yun, the first symptom is usually fever, then followed by headache. Ang delikado lang sa malaria, Paolo, no, pag hindi mo maagapan, it can really cause more severe form of infection. The two most important complications of malaria is when it goes to the brain, and the other one is when it affects also the kidney or yung bato natin, that can also lead to renal failure and death.
Doc Jean, I know you're helping us try to curb malaria with guestings like this at sana po that Palawan also becomes malaria-free dahil sa mga information drive and campaigns ganito po. Maraming salamat po, Doc Jean. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Paolo, and good morning.
All right, so that was Doc Jean Solante with all those insights. Now we've got more stories for you after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now we got more news for you. Bulusan volcano in Sorsogon erupted phreatically early Monday, spewing ash for 24 minutes according to PHIVOX. The 4:36 a.m. eruption sent plumes up to 4,500 meters high, affecting Barangay Cogon in Irosin town. PHIVOX warned of possible alert level 1 due to continuing volcanic activity. Entry into the 4-kilometer permanent danger zone is banned, while caution is advised in the 2-kilometer extended danger zone.
The National Food Authority is now moving some of its rice stocks to the Visayas in preparation for the rollout of the 20 peso per kilogram rice program. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel says additional rice stocks will come from Mindoro to augment the NFA stocks in Iloilo. The move is aimed to supplement existing stocks in the Visayas, especially in areas with limited rice production like Cebu, Negros Island, Samar, and Leyte. The NFA currently has over 7.5 million bags of rice, its highest buffer stocks in 5 years. The Agriculture Department and some local LGUs will subsidize the cheap rice.
Well, Watchdog Namfrel is sounding the alarm after recent revelations of alleged Chinese interference in the elections. While the Migrant Workers Department is beefing up efforts to get more overseas Filipinos to vote. Joan Manalo reports.
NAMFREL National Chairperson Lito Averia stressed that the public should look out for individuals or groups being paid by a foreign country to interfere in elections. Averia believes this is a serious matter that must be properly investigated and prosecuted.
Mas maganda na makasuhan sila, maimbestigahan ng mabuti kung ano yung kanilang aksyon. Dahil kung sila ay pinapayaran ng ibang bansa, ibang usapan na yan. Control farm, bayaran ka na para binebenta mo na rin. Kasi nga, there's no place para sa atin na atakihin yung ating halalan.
This is in light of the recent Senate hearing that revealed how the Chinese embassy in the Philippines allegedly paid for troll farms through a Makati-based firm. Averia adds, legal action can be taken against those involved, just like in previous cases where people were charged for manipulating online content. This includes third parties, proxies, and so-called keyboard warriors who may be paid to spread false information. He added that such activities can also be traced to prevent online disinformation. Meanwhile, authorities are working to encourage more overseas Filipinos to vote. Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak said they have set up voter registration kiosks and counters at DMW offices, apart from its education campaign. Kakdak also emphasized that the DMW is part of the Election Board of Canvassers, and it continues to work with the DFA and embassies to support ongoing overseas voting.
And then we work closely with the DFA. Ang ambassador heads yung electoral effort dun sa voting effort dun sa embahada. Kaya kabilang tayo sa Board of Canvassers, yung mga tao natin sa migrant, kung saan meron tayong migrant workers office.
The COMELEC previously reported that only around 95,000 of the 1.2 million overseas voters have enrolled in overseas voting, which will end on the election day, May 12. With this, NAMFREL and the DMW continue the call for vigilance in order to safeguard the integrity of the Philippine elections. Joan Manalo, Bilyonario News Channel.
Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon is cracking the whip on road safety, and he's not wasting time. He's rolled out a special task force to overhaul how we handle traffic, licenses, and vehicle checks. Our mobility correspondent, G. Baroga, has the details.
After a surge in road accidents during Holy Week, Transport Secretary Vince Dizon is hitting the brakes and taking the wheel. He's pulled together a powerhouse task force made up of the DOTR, LTO, LTFRB, and the PNP Highway Patrol Group to give the country's traffic rules a serious tune-up.
Clearly, yung mga polisiya ngayon, yung mga proseso ngayon, hindi epektibo. Yung roadworthiness, kailangan yan talagang chinecheck. Chinecheck ang makina, chinecheck ang preno, chinecheck lahat. Lalo na para sa mga truck at sa mga bus.
Everything is under review, from how licenses are given out to how vehicles get inspected and cleared for the road. And Secretary Dizon isn't just talking. He's already taken action and revoked the license of Mark Louis Burgos, a bus driver caught speeding in La Union. Effective April 23rd, over 600 licenses have been suspended for 90 days. Nearly 100 of these license owners tested positive for illegal drugs.
Yung pagbigay sa iyo ng lisensya na ginagamit mo para sa kabuhayan mo, para kumita ka, pribilehiyo yan na binibigay sa iyo, pero may kaakibat yan na responsibilidad na pangalagaan mo ang sinasakay mo, pati na rin ang sarili mo.
Meanwhile, LTO Chief ASEC Vigor Mendoza says over 1,100 vehicle owners are being served show cause orders for failing basic roadworthiness tests.
In my last 2 years at the LTO, we have never reached this level. We are really hell-bent with the instruction of the Secretary. Road safety will not be compromised, and we will double time on this.
The LTO is also setting up 2 special teams, one to go after drug or drunk drivers and another to hunt down unsafe, poorly maintained vehicles. Written and practical exams may soon be required again, especially for motorcycle riders who are involved in nearly half of all road accidents last week. To support all this, the agency is investing in better testing equipment for buses and trucks.
Record data will again show that those that involve death and serious physical injuries, lahat doon, lahat na may bus and truck, sir, may ganong involvement. So we cannot help but focus on trucks and buses.
It's a long road ahead, but with task force on overdrive and reforms rolling out fast, the goal is clear: safer streets for every Filipino. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
The National Economic and Development Authority says the Philippines is on track to achieve upper middle income status by next year, despite mounting global risks and uncertainty in world trade. As Sujin Kim reports, this milestone could mark a turning point for investor confidence, foreign direct investments, and the country's long-term economic trajectory.
The Philippines is inching closer to a long-awaited economic milestone.
We anticipate graduating to upper middle income country status by next year.
Chief Economic Planner Arsenio Balisacan is confident that the country will achieve upper middle income status by 2026 despite rising global risks and deepening uncertainty in world trade.
Nobody expected that that uncertainty would heighten this far. We're crossing our fingers. I think that there are risks out there, but we also have been quite watchful and vigilant. No? We are adjusting our policy tools to ensure that our economy maintains its resilience amid these uncertainties.
With the release of first quarter GDP figures just ahead, economic managers are looking to the numbers for clarity on how the country is weathering global headwinds. The government is still betting on a 6% growth target for 2025.
As of now, we are sticking to that. We hope that the numbers are not that bad. There were many times in the past when we outperformed the growth prospects or target estimates of IMF or even World Bank or ADB.
Next week, middle-income nations, including the Philippines, will gather to push for structural reforms and strategic cooperation in the face of global volatility.
Middle-income countries such as the Philippines are well positioned to take on a bigger role, both economically and politically, in the global stage.
The high-level conference of middle-income countries will take place from April 28 to 29 in Makati City. Soojin Kim, Billionaire News Channel.
And we've got more stories for you guys after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. The luxury property segment in the Philippines continues to grow, and Ayala Land is making a push to capture the demand. The developer is setting new targets to expand in this high-end market, even as global uncertainty raises questions about sustainability. Soojin Kim has the details.
The ranks of the ultra-rich in the Philippines are expanding, and Ayala Land, one of the country's largest property developers, is leading the charge in capitalizing on the luxury real estate boom.
We believe that wealth is actually being created in the Philippines. If you look at different indicators of that, asset under management and private wealth has been growing. If you look at luxury car sales, it's up 20%. If you look at our sales in Greenbelt, for example, we have 3 times the number of luxury brands. So there is indeed wealth being created in the country. The challenge for us is to get a bigger share of that wealth creation.
To do this, the company is targeting aggressive growth.
The target is really to grow 2 times GDP. So we are indexing, in a way, our growth targets to how well the country performs. No, it is, but it's 2 times GDP. So if GDP is to grow at 6%, our target is to grow at 12%.
But external risks, particularly from global trade, are weighing on investor confidence.
Kalaban ng any business is uncertainty and turmoil. I guess all these changes in talks of the tariffs, changing trading patterns, it's the uncertainty that concerns us. Because if there's uncertainty, not just for us, but our buyers also will not have the confidence to invest. And so what keeps me up at night are uncertainties.
Nearly a third of buyers are overseas Filipinos, with over 7% coming from the United States, leaving the firm vulnerable to policy shifts abroad. On the other hand, to fund its expansion, Ayala Land plans to raise 55 billion pesos through sustainability-linked bonds. The structure offers lower credit spreads if green targets are met, aligning financial strategy with climate commitments. Sujin Kim, Billionaire News Channel.
Marian Andal is one of the NCAA's top liberos. She's also determined to steer the perpetual Lady Atlas to its ultimate goal of winning the women's volleyball title in the Grand Old League. Here's our interview with Anton Rojas of The Scorecard.
Hello everybody, we are here inside the gym of the University of Perpetual Health System, Dalta in Las Piñas for this very special episode on The Scorecard. Kasama natin ngayon ang team captain ng Perpetual Lady Altas, isa sa mga contenders ng NCAA Season 100, Marian Tracy Andal. Marian, maraming salamat sa oras at sa pag-welcome sa akin dito sa Perpetual.
Welcome po kayo dito.
Kamusta naman? Contender kayo this year. Alam ko last year naging mahirap yung tournament nyo. Hindi kayo umabot sa Final Four kahit malakas yung lineup nyo. Meron kayong former MVP, Mary Rose Dapol. Ngayon, wala na si Daps. Pero isa kayo sa mga contenders. Kamusta naman?
Ginawa po namin motivation yung season 99 na although hindi kinapos po kami kahit sobrang konti lang. Pero ngayong season po namin, sinisigurado namin na hindi kami kakapusin, gagawin namin ng lahat para ibawi namin yung last season na nangyari.
So yun pala yung motivation, no?
Yes,
Yung
po.
shortcomings from last year. Okay, bago natin pag-usapan yung season 100, we want to get to know you a little bit. Paano ba nagsimula yung journey ng isang Marian Andal?
Taga Imus, Cavite.
Imus, Cavite, okay.
Yung ate ko po, elementary. Parang family day po nila. Kulang po yung players nila. Parang siguro mga 7 or 8 years old pa lang ako. Inaya po ako, sali ka na, kakulay mo yung yung team na yon. Sumali po, wala akong kaalam-alam. Tapos hanggang sa nahilig po ako, araw-araw, naglalaro ako ng volleyball. Nung elementary po ako, spiker pa ako kasi maalam lang po sa volleyball. Wala pang sa elementary po kasi wala pang libero-libero.
Yes.
Ikot-ikot lang kayo, rotation lang. Hanggang nung nag-high school po ako, na-convert na po ako ng libero hanggang na-focus na po ako doon.
Okay, high school. Saan ka unang naging player sa organized volleyball?
Bali nung grade 7 po ako sa Christian Value School.
Okay.
Then, spiker pa po ako noon. Nakakalaban ko pa po yung Perpetual Molino sa district meet namin.
Okay.
Then, next year, grade 8 po, lumipat na ako sa Perpetual Molino. Doon po ako naging libero ng tuloy-tuloy kay Coach Turing po.
So, from kalaban, naging kakampi,
Opo.
kasama na sa
Opo.
Perpetual Molino. Okay, so from Perpetual Molino, paano ka napunta sa Perpetual Main
Yung
sa Las Piñas?
coach po namin doon, si Coach Turing po, alumni po siya dito.
Okay.
Parang under siya ni Coach Sammy na sinabihan po siguro na may mga players ka ba dyan sa Perpetual Molino, dalin mo dito sa Perpetual Las Piñas. Then, dinala po kami dito, nag-try. Tapos, yun po, nagustuhan po, kinuha. Ang coach pa po nun sa women, si Coach Maki Carino. Pagpasok ko po, first year, nag-pandemic. Yun po yung first year ko dun. Online training lang po, lagi kay Coach Maki.
At Marian, alam ko, during the pandemic, meron ka ring pinagdaan ng injury. Ano ba ang nangyari at paano ka kumbaga, paano mo pinatatag yung sarili mo na ma-overcome yon at makabalik sa paglalaro?
Nung 2019 po na ACL ako, before mag-college, last year ko po sa high school noon, na-injury po ako, pinaoperahan po ako di sa Perpetual Hospital. Wala na akong naiisip na tama noon. Feeling ko katapusan ko na kasi sa college, ibang level na po, tas na-injured pa ako, libero pa ako, more on takbo-takbo, more on legs talaga. Etong Perpetual po, hindi sila sumuko, kinuha pa din po ako kahit na although na galing ako injury. Inisip ko na lang po, may team pa na, may school pa na nagtitiwala sa akin yung pinanggalingan ko ng high school. Sige, hindi ko susukuan. Naniniwala pa sa akin yung parents ko, yung family ko. Sige, hindi ko susukuan tong pangarap ko.
Wow, and then naalala ko, first season mo, season 98.
98.
At malakas yung team nyo nung year na yun.
Opo.
Nag-MVP si Mary Rose Dapol, si Shai Umipon, nag-Rookie of the Year, ikaw naman.
Best libero.
As a rookie, best libero. So, grabe, from injury to best libero, paano nangyari yun?
Ano po, bali nung season 97 po, first year ko talaga, first time na nagka-NCAA after nung pandemic. Hindi po ako niline up ni coach, hindi ako na-line up, hindi ako napasok kasi ang hirap kasi galing po ako injury, parang zero talaga. Muntikan na ako umuwi, pinapauwi na po ako ni coach noon. Sabi niya, gusto na ako sunduin ng parents ko. Sabi ko,
seryoso?
Ano mo, ako pinapauwi niya na ako, hindi mo na ba kaya, umalis ka na dito. Yung ako po, iyak na iyak, sige sunduin niyo na ako kasi yung may mga naniniwala po, nawagan dyan ka na, madaming may gusto dyan sa pwesto mo, tiyagain mo lang. Then, next year po yun, nagpursige po ako, gusto kong pakita na ako hindi niline up nung 97, may pangalan ako. Hanggang sa nagtiwala yung mga kasama ko, sila coach, nagtiwala ko sa sarili ko. Hindi ko naman po in-expect yung award na yon. Talagang naglaro lang din ako. Gusto ko lang din patunayan na ginusto ko to. Gusto ko makabawi sa sarili ko. Yun, nagka-award po ako.
Grabe. Wait, yung coach, si Coach Sandy yun?
Coach Sandy po.
Wow. Tapos ngayon, siya yung nagtiwala sa'yo na maging captain ng Perpetual Lady
Madami po kami
Altas.
pinagdaanan ni Coach Sandy, away. Lalo nung first year ko po, napauwi na po talaga ako niya. Pero okay, dito ako, hindi kita papakinggan. Struggle pa. Bahala ka dyan.
Okay. Ang ganda. Grabe yung, kumbaga, yung redirection ng buhay mo. Sobrang ganda. Paano niya sinabi sa'yo na, Marian, ikaw ang magiging captain ng Perpetual?
Ano po, parang kasi nakikita niya yung... Ano po kasi ako masalita. Mahilig mag-inspire, mag-motivate, itama yung mga mali. Nakikita po siguro ni Coach yun na maging advantage ko, maging leader. Kasi alam niyang kaya kong ma-motivate, ma-lead yung mga kasama ko sa loob. Kasi sa dami ko nga nang pinagdaanan sa kanya, alam niya kung paano ko siguro i-handle din yung mga sitwasyon na pagdadaanan pa ng mga teammates ko.
Kung hindi volleyball, ano sa tingin mo yung magiging trabaho mo?
Siguro po IT, katulad po ng ate ko.
IT.
Opo.
Ay, yung ate mo na nag-invite sa'yo maglaro ng volleyball. Marian, last year mo na ba dito sa Perpetual?
Last year ko na po.
So, importante yan na syempre yung inspiration mo, yung family mo, yung teammates mo, yung school na tumanggap at tumulong sa'yo. Maganda ang pinapakita nyo sa ngayon. So, feeling mo ba na this year may chance talaga kayo na mag-champion with this lineup?
Yes po. Parang yung game namin before the day na yon, parang naiisip ko lagi gabi-gabi na sa toss coin pa lang naisip ko na sino mananalo, naisip ko ako or siya. Tapos pipiliin ko na yung mga bagay na service or court. Tapos nararamdaman ko din yung mananalo kami ngayong araw na to. Parang yung na-predict ko na po. Pero ngayon nga po, na-predict ko na magcha-champion ko, mag-iiyakan po.
Wow.
Nandun na ako pero ang goal ko muna, syempre, Final Four.
Yes. Marian, ito yung pinaka-competitive na women's volleyball sa NCAA. First time nag-double round. 4 kayong tabla after the first round, 7-2. You have Benil, the defending champions. You have Letran, you have Mapua, and then of course, Perpetual. Para sa'yo, sino ba yung biggest threat or kanino ka pinaka na-motivate sa mga team sa NCAA?
Benil po.
Benil pa rin.
Kasi every year contender sila eh. Parang strike pa namin talaga silang gusto namin silang makatapat. Kahit na sabayan namin, hindi naman sa talunin.
Marian, marami ka nang na-receive na salo ng mga malalakas na spikers. Para sa'yo, kanino ka pinaka nagulat na, uy, ang lakas nun?
Sa ibang team po ba?
Yeah. Or kahit dito, kung meron.
Pinakamalakas umalo si Winnie Bedania po.
Winnie Bedania, okay.
Sobrang lakas niya po.
Oh.
Sobrang lakas.
Sa iba naman?
Sa iba, Aliana Ong, ng Mapua.
Okay. Si Winnie Bedania, balikan lang natin. Para sa'yo, bakit siya nag-improve?
Siguro
sobrang taas ng improvement niya this season 100.
Siguro ang motivation niya din po kasi last year niya, no?
Yes.
Gusto niya din ibigay siguro po yung lahat ng pinaghirapan niya all throughout the years na training, araw-araw. Gusto niya pakita sa last season niya na to.
Okay. At hindi lang sports ang pinagkakaabalahan nyo. Kayo ni Winnie, thesis mates kayo, kasama pa yung ibang perpetual players. Pero para sa'yo, ano yung pinaka-importanting bagay na natutunan mo sa pagiging isang volleyball player at student athlete?
Yung time management din po talaga. Tsaka tiwala sa sarili na kaya mo. Kaya mong mag-aral habang sinasabay itong matinding training at pressure sa games. Kailangan mo talaga ng tiwala sa sarili mo na kakayanin mo yung mga bagay na ganun na hindi mo akalain kaya mo, pero kaya mo.
Marian, marami kang pinagdaanan sa buhay mo, mga relationship issues with player and coach, mga injuries, pero nandito ka ngayon as the leader of the Perpetual Lady Altas at pag-graduate na rin. Congratulations and all the best sa volleyball career.
Thank you po.
Magkikita pa tayo sa second round ng NCAA. We have Marian Andal, the team captain of the Perpetual Lady Altas.
So we've got more stories for you after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Hey, is today going to be your lucky day or not? Let's go find out from Feng Shui Master Hans Kua in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for today, Monday, April 28. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, ang pagiging proactive ay magbibigay ng advantage sa trabaho. Green at 8. Kaya uksaban tayo, huwag baliwalain ang pahinga. Ito ang susi sa mas productive na araw. White at 2. Kay Tiger naman, huwag matakot sa pagbabago. Embrace new challenges. Gray at 1. Rabbit naman tayo, mag-focus sa pag-iwas sa utang at unahin ang bayaran, ang mga unahin, mabayaran natin. Purple at 3. Kay Year of the Dragon naman tayo, maglaan ng oras upang pagandahin ang resume at portfolio. Orange at 5. Kay Snake naman tayo, subukan ang regular na paglalakad sa umaga para sa mas malusog na katawan. Blue at 9. Ito naman, Year of the Horsey. Huwag hayaan ang maliit na tampuhan na sumira sa relasyon. Mag-usap para maayos agad yan. Red at 7. Kay Ship naman tayo, bigyan pansin ang mental health. Huwag i-overload ang sarili sa trabaho. Pink at 6. Kay Monkey naman tayo, mag-focus sa quality ng trabaho kesa sa quantity. Ito ay mapapansin ni Boss. Yellow at 4. Kay Rooster naman tayo, maglaan ng oras para self-care kahit isang oras araw-araw. Brown at 2. Kay Year of the Dog naman, subukan ang bagong paraan sa pag-organize ng trabaho upang maging mas efficient. Green at 1. Kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, maghanda para sa bagong project, ipakita ang creativity. Purple at 8. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang ito po ay patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with Master Hans Kua.
So Mo, what is your Tagalog word of the day?
Litson.
Oh my gosh.
Lechon. I didn't know it was spelled
You know, Master Hans,
No, I was
Hans
asking
said,
what you learned from Master Hans Kua in terms of your Tagalog word.
He said 1 hour. Something about
Isang
1 hour
oras.
of self-care.
Isang oras, yeah,
That's not
self-care.
word. That's not a word. That's a phrase.
Master
Isang
Hans said,
oras.
I should
thought
take
it's
care of
not lechon.
my...
I'm so hungry now. Send me lechon.
Master Hans said I should take care of my mental health. I'm having mental health issues with all the off-air conversation. My goodness. And then we found out that Monique has not had lechon manok ever.
If you guys want to send some over, I would gladly eat it.
Kasi just so you all know,
you can have lechon manok.
we all arrived here kasi lumabas yung Year of the Rooster. And then biglang sabi ni Mo, I haven't had lechon manok.
Yeah, because I'm Year of the Rooster. I shouldn't be eating my horoscope. I'm sure. Is there something like when you don't eat chicken? I should be a chickentarian.
Hey, look, I've
poultritarian.
eaten a horse before, so...
Horse?
Yeah.
Kawawa naman. naman.
Oh, don't eat a horse. That's
Why did you eat the horse?
Wait, you
Wala
don't say,
na bang ibang
you don't
option?
say that about chicken. You don't say that about cows, beef.
Sabagay, you know what? Yeah. But then
Oh.
there,
Like I had kalabaw in Ilocos.
I don't know. I feel like there are some animals that are not meant.
Yeah, there's only
No,
Oh
I'm
my
just saying,
God,
no.
this argument
I
will
had,
not go anywhere.
I had horse in Mongolia. I was in Ulaanbaatar, and then I was served a pasta dish, and then I didn't realize that the meat was horse.
What did it
What
taste
it taste
like?
Huh?
What did it taste like?
Wala, parang bumilis lang ako, parang nangabayo ako. Like after, I feel like, yan, parang bilis mo ngayon ah. Right? So,
Na-feeling mo, naging centaur ka bigla.
No,
Hindi.
he became, what is it, the Tagalog, the tikbalang?
Tikbalang.
The half horse, half man. Mas bagay tikbalang na center
oh, I'm
kay
proud of
Paolo.
you, ah. That's a
Thank
deep
you so
reference.
much.
Oh, tikbalang.
See, I'm learning stuff here.
Oo, so sa Mongolia, naging tikbalang ako. But yeah, no, so yeah, it was horse.
But the tikbalang is horse upper body.
Horse on top, and then the bottom is a human.
Yeah, human.
Yeah.
So, okay lang.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Very Paolo.
all right,
That did not come from me.
Now, speaking about fantasy, all right, a fierce battle rages on in Azeroth as World of Warcraft fans hack and slash at each other with foam weapons in the Czech Republic. Now, the two-day live-action roleplay or LARP event drew over 150 people to declare their allegiance to the Alliance or the Horde, dressed as the game's various races from elves and dwarves to undead and minotaurs. The World of Warcraft is the world's best-selling MMO game with a Guinness World Record of more than 40 million copies sold since it released 20 years ago.
In other news, Universal Studios Hollywood unveils its newest attraction, where iconic movie franchises fans such as Back to the Future and Star Trek can now fully immerse themselves in the shows that they love. This event encourages visitors to cosplay, explore immersive spaces, and try food and drinks inspired from various film franchises. The theme park lets fans explore the original film set of the 1985 Back to the Future blockbuster movie and interact with actors, dance to musical performances, as well as take photos with Einstein the dog and the time-traveling car, the DeLorean. Additional immersive experiences include Dungeons & Dragons, One Piece, and Jujutsu Kaisen. The Universal Fan Fest nights run on select nights until May 18.
In total, it's taken 3 years to develop and conceive and design and produce FanFest nights. And specific to the casting, it was amazing to see the amount of people that came out to audition for the roles of Universal FanFest nights. And not only did they bring their best performance, but they brought passion for the genres as well, which was super exciting to see both in the casting and now every night during the event.
Would you
Isn't this what they do
cosplay?
in Star Trek?
Yeah, that's Star Trek. Proud of you.
It's so hard to do with my, no, I can't do it like automatic.
It's a talent.
Because ayaw magkabit. Ayaw, guys, oh, look, ayaw. I have to like hold it. It just separates on its own. But we're going to
learning so much about Anne.
I'm going
She
to
doesn't
LA in
like
June.
flavor,
I
and
wanna go.
she can't do that with her hands.
Ito yung problema ko eh. I don't like what I'm learning about Anne.
Ayaw niya talaga. It separates on its own. But I want
Have
to
you
go
ever broken that
there.
finger?
Wait, try
Yeah,
this one.
this one's broken.
Try this one.
Okay.
Try this hand.
Which one? Here.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, so you can do it
Okay.
on that
All right,
one.
all
But
right.
here I cannot.
Okay, that's fine.
Interesting.
Why am I even showing it?
I don't know.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be in LA in June.
Are you going?
I wanna.
Are you gonna
With the
cosplay?
family. No, but I wanna try the.
There's no point in going if you're not cosplaying.
No, not just cosplaying. There's also immersive experiences
Yeah, but you should
and going with the
cosplay because
actors.
that's the whole point. You immerse yourself in that world.
Would you ever, what amongst the stuff that we mentioned a while ago, what would you cosplay as?
Honestly, I want to do a Star Wars cosplay because I'm changing the topic because I want to be Queen Amidala. I want to be Padme. And the 4th is coming.
May the 4th, yeah, May the 4th is coming
So
actually. You know that May the 4th is Star Wars Day, right? Yeah.
I
Just
totally would
making
do
sure.
a Padme cosplay.
Okay.
Would you?
What?
What cosplay would you do?
Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah. Let me hear your best Chewbacca sound.
Make the Chewbacca sound.
that's
I mean, guys,
You're so cute.
it ain't that hard.
Cute lang si Pao when he's Chewbacca.
He's like our gorilla Chewbacca. Yeah, right? Yeah. Our gorilla Chewbacca. Yay.
Welcome back, we missed you,
So
Chewie.
proud, yeah.
yung gusto ko, like, the
Chewy
direct
or Gorilla
decided
King.
never to move from me. All right, but... All right, that is it for us this Monday, April 28. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you for working with us here, and thank you for joining us today.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thanks for making us your daily morning habit. Make today unforgettable by choosing joy and spreading love and kindness wherever you go.
I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Monday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day!